Christina Barrington?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Lydia and I'm a student physical therapist at Anderson University. I'm going to be working with you today. Is that all right?
That sounds great.
Great. So what we're going to be doing today is just running through a couple of tests, really looking at just kind of joint function and also some strengthening exercises. Does that sound okay?
That sounds great.
Great. And before we get started, how would you like to be addressed?
Christina's fine.
All right, great. Okay, Christina, so the first test we're going to be doing is called the Sharp Purser test. And what that is doing is looking for general instability in your neck area, especially the upper cervical part. So how we test this is basically I have you tilt your head forwards and then I'll place my hand on your forehead and be pushing your head backwards. Does that sound like something you're comfortable doing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. So how this happens is basically there's a ligament that keeps your first vertebrae from sliding on your second one. That's called the transverse ligament. Other ways this could happen is if you had a dens fracture, which is part of the second vertebrae, or just general instability like I had said previously. Okay? Alrighty, so if you don't mind just tilting your head forward just a little bit, and then I'm going to be stabilizing on the C2 spinous process, and then I'm just going to be pushing backwards. If you can tilt your head forward just a little bit more for me. Great. Did you have any pain with that?
Nope.
Okay, did you have any other symptoms? Like did you feel a lump in your throat or dizzy or any double vision, anything like that?
No.
Great, so that would have been some of the other ways that we could tell if it was a positive test. But like I said, you had very little motion when leaning forward, so I would definitely consider this a negative. All right, Christina, the second test that we're going to be doing today is called the cervical segmental flexion test. And what that does is it basically looks at the different joints in your neck and assesses both the quality and the quantity of movement that happens as you're bending the head forward. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing for this test, it's kind of similar to the previous test that we did, is I'm going to be tilting your head forward, but also palpating around the back of your neck just to see if we have equal spacing between joints and the appropriate infill for them. Is that something you're okay doing?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Alrighty, so I'm going to start on the C2 spinous process. If you don't mind, I'll just tilt your head forward just a little. Okay. So that was C2, C3. Then coming down to C3, C4, C5, C6, and then C6, C7. Great, so for those, I did feel an equal spacing between each of the joints, and also there was a firm infill, which is what we would expect in the neck area. Did you have any pain with that?
Nope.
Great. All right, Christina, the next test we're going to be doing is the supraspinatus test. And what that does is it basically looks at the strength of the supraspinatus and also looking to see if there's tears or ruptures in the tendon or the muscle. It also looks at the to see if there's any nerve damage to the suprascapular nerve, which supplies the supraspinatus. So the muscle itself is actually kind of on the top of your shoulder, and it helps you bring your arm up by your side like this. So for this test, I'm actually going to have you bring your arms up by your side like this, if you don't mind doing that, and then turning and pointing your thumbs up toward the ceiling. And then I'm just going to have you bring them in about like this. Alrighty, so I'm going to push down on your wrists, and I want you to not let me move you, okay? Good job. So did you have any pain with that?
No.
Great. So because she didn't have pain and because she was able to keep the position, we would consider that a negative test. If she wasn't able to keep the position or if she didn't have pain, then we could consider that a positive sign for it. Great. All right, Christina, the last thing we're going to be doing today is a posterior glide of the shoulder. And what that is basically doing is it's helping kind of stretch out the posterior joint capsule, which can be helpful for people who aren't able to raise their arm all the way up, or people who are lacking internal rotation. So to start with, I'm going to have this towel roll. If you don't mind just leaning up for me, I'm going to put this on your scapula just to stabilize that, as well as put the humerus in a better position. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is basically pressing down on kind of near your shoulder on the humerus, just a little bit distal to that joint. And we'll do grade 1 or 2, which is just a little bit, and that's for pain, really. And then a grade 3 would be able to assess kind of the quality of motion happening at that joint. Is that something you're okay doing? Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So first we're going to start off with a grade 1 to 2. Any pain with that? Great. So we'll do a little bit firmer and go with a grade 3. Any pain? Yep. Great. So with that, I had a firm infeel, which is what we would expect, and I didn't feel any tightness in the joint, which is good. Alrighty, so you can sit up for me. So do you have any questions for me, Christina? Nope. Alrighty, well, it was very nice working with you, and I hope to work with you again really soon. Sounds good. Great, thank you.